Everybody for tuning in to another episode of the Hood Paralegal Podcast. It's your boy Corey tuned in with you this week. And this week, we still on our You Are Worthy campaign celebrating our black women, and their black excellence. And I'm going to just give a rundown of why black men should be relating positively to a black woman, period, and why it's a necessity that we partner with our women instead of abuse and, misuse our women. So every serious black man should be relating positively to a black woman. African American men and women must be partners. Now, black men as a collective body have been able to get our act together, and it's not accurate or in our best interest to blame our black women for our current condition. Now, in this war situation that we are in, meaning with this white supremacist society, our women cannot effectively deal with white men. They need us, and that's our jobs. And I'm going to repeat it again. Our women cannot effectively deal with white men. They need us, and that's our jobs, our duty to protect them. Often black women understand black men are at a greater level than the men themselves, meaning our women get us more than anyone else. And the negative image portrayed of black men by this white supremacist society may be the final step in dismantling and destroying the black world in the U.S., which is their agenda to let the black men destroy and disrupt their own communities. Now, black women are now the primary decision makers in the family, and male dominance is on the decline in the black community, which places that community in jeopardy. And unwarranted competition between black men and women for jobs, housing, healthcare, education, political decisions only leads to further erosion of black male and female relationships. Now, white men have boxed black men into a corner only with one option, and that's to come out fighting regardless of who they're destroying. Now, black men can influence unconscious black men under the right conditions, meaning if you know each one teach one, if you got a buddy, and you understand something that they don't, it's time for black men to come together and recommit ourselves and rededicate ourselves to uplifting our women. And black women who are conscious generally will not be listened to. And white men and white women who can influence black men will do so only in the best interest of the white race, meaning the only time you really can expect another race to do it is when it's to their benefit. Now, the family still represents the basic and best learning institution, and that was their get-go. The whole point of slavery was to cause black dysfunction, and you take the head from the household, which is the black man. You can influence a woman and, basically break up the black family. And the disruption of the family has come partially through the elimination, displacement, assimilation, and or co-opting of black men. Now, it's fact, when you educate the woman, you educate the race. Now, white men have focused on only keeping black men in their place by not allowing them to take care of their families or to protect the most precious parts of them, which is their women and their children. And black women have had to be strong and resourceful in untold ways, which is the result of the Jim Crow laws, Willie Lynch, and this current mass incarceration pandemic that we're going through. And sociologist Joyce Letner states in her essay, Tomorrow's Tomorrow, in many ways the black woman is the carrier of the culture because it has been she who has epitomized what it meant to be black, oppressed, and yet given some small opportunity to negotiate the different demands which the society placed upon all black people. Thus, she can be considered on all avenues and all amalgams of the diverse components of which compromise the black culture, the pains and the sorrows as well as the joys and successes. Most of all, it was she who survived in the country where survival was not always considered possible, which is another reason why we got to salute our black women, because in reality, they endured way more pain than we had to, and it's put them in a position to where they have to play the role of the mother and the father, especially anyone dealing with incarcerated individuals. Any fathers incarcerated, we all should be able to relate that our children mother, has to do our duty and theirs, which is not easy. So it's a must that we salute them. Now, black women are the transmitter of the culture, the keeper of the cultural flame, the nourisher, comforter, and anchor in all matters of life and death for that culture. It is not by chance, no accident, or false appeal to our senses when it is said the world over that the hand that the rocks the cradle rules the world. And in conclusion, man, it's just simple, man. We gotta protect our black women, man, uplift them and let them know that they are enough and they are worthy, man. And it's time to be men and just step up and reassemble, man, and reverse the curse and just bring the black family back to its original function, man, so we can prosper together as a community, as a culture as a whole. And always remember, because I had a conversation this week with a couple of individuals, and they didn't understand how deeply and how much slavery impacted our dysfunction in this society right now, and led to a lot of things that we dealing with, even that was over 400 years ago. We still affected by it now, generationally. So, I'm just advising everybody to stay woke, man. Have these conversations with children. You better have, the more we started to open up and need dialogue, the better it is. And we run these campaigns, teach one. I don't know it all, and you might not know it all, but what I don't know, you can teach me, and that's why we ask y'all to like, share, and comment, because we want to hear everybody's perspective. And, any resources, any books, any authors, any black literature, period, or knowledge, information is power. So anything regarding this on why black men should be uplifting our black women, man, feel free to comment and, bring it to the table, because we all open. And the whole point of this is healing as a collective. That's the objective. Now, everybody have a blessed week. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in to another episode of the Hood Paralegal Podcast. And we thank y'all for y'all support and everything. Like, share, comment. And I love y'all. Until next week, be blessed and have a blessed week.